Yes. Okay. So today what you are going to study in the solid state is about crystal lattice and unit cell. Okay. So we will be doing detailing about this crystal lattice and unit cell. So why crystal lattice becomes important for us, especially we are talking about now here crystalline solid, okay, because you know crystalline solid has a correct order arrangement of atoms, molecules or ions, correct? No, amorphous, they don't have a correct arrangement. So we are going to focus only on the crystalline solid. Okay, so this determining this arrangement of atoms actually in the crystalline solid becomes little important if you want to study the physical properties. So that's the reason why we are going to focus on all of these points. So let us understand one by one what are these terms standing for. So I'll start with the first one. See, like now, for example, here, imagine one crystal lattice I'm having. Okay, you can take sodium as the example. I'm just taking a simple example. So in the sodium, if I take sodium, piece of sodium metal, okay, so you will find that there are sodium ions, Na plus ions are there like this, okay, one after the other. Yes. So what I was telling is, if I take example of sodium metal, so you have seen in the metal, you have metallic bond where you are finding ions are present. Okay, sodium ions are present, no, like this. And then you find electrons are present outside. Okay, so everywhere you have sodium ions. So this is what we are representing now here. Okay, so this sodium ions, imagine here these points which are there, no, those are the sodium ions. Okay, which are arranged like this, one after the other. Okay, so when they are arranged like this, one after the other, continuously, you will be able to get this three-dimensional structure. Can you see here? Okay, a big three-dimensional structure you are able to see over here, where this each and every point is there. No, okay, these points, this black color points which we have denoted here, these points are called as lattice points. Okay, where this lattice point can be occupied by either, now here in the case of metal where I take, then it will be ions. Okay, then it will be sodium ions. It can be sodium ions, but if you are talking about molecular solid, if I'm talking about molecular solid where constituent particles can be atoms or they can be molecules. So here this lattice point, okay, can be occupied by either atoms, molecules or ions. Yes, I'll repeat now. See, I'll repeat whatever I've said just now. Okay. So we are discussing about crystal lattice and unit cell. So I took example of sodium now. Sodium if I take, okay. So here sodium atoms will be arranged one after the other, okay. So this is how it will be arranged, and continuously when they arrange themselves one after the other, you will end up getting this three-dimensional arrangement, okay. So this is the three-dimensional structure you will be able to get when you arrange. Now imagine here I have one sodium ion and this is the next one, okay, like this you have continuously these are the sodium ions which are arranged one after the other, okay, like this. When you see the arrangement over there, this each and every point which is there, no, okay, because these point can be made up of any constituent particles, okay, and that point is called as lattice point here. So that lattice point can be either occupied by either atoms, or they can be molecules, or they could be even ions, okay. And when you do this arrangement, if you are able to get this three-dimensional structure, then this structure is called as crystal lattice. Okay, this whole arrangement is there, no? That is called as crystal lattice. So crystal lattice is nothing but it's a three-dimensional arrangement. Okay, so it's a three-dimensional arrangement of points in this space. Means 3D arrangement if you are doing three-dimensional. If I take in three different axes, that is x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and I arrange these atoms one after the other, okay, where you are able to get volume also, then such type of arrangement they are called as crystal lattice, okay. So crystal lattice is this, the definition goes as I've given here, the regular three-dimensional arrangement of points in this space. So those points are, I said, can be anything. It can be either atoms, it can be molecules, or it can be ions. Okay, so this crystalline, only for these crystalline solid we will be defining crystal lattice. Yes. Now, here I have given one example. You might be familiar with Rubik's Cube. You might have seen it, correct? No? So this is just an example for crystal lattice, okay, where you can see here this each and every point is there. No, this every point will be the lattice point, okay. So every point over here will indicate the lattice point, and then this lattice point is getting continued, no, throughout. And you can see Rubik's Cube, it has a three-dimensional arrangement, okay. So this has a three-dimensional arrangement. X-axis is there, Y-axis you have, and then you have Z-axis, okay. So each point over there stands, each vertex is there, no, that stands for the lattice point. And this arrangement, what you are going to get over here continuously, that will be called as crystal lattice. Okay, a simple example I have given over here. You can get many examples for this. Even a huge building where you can see one building is made up of small bricks, okay. That small bricks, when you combine it together, okay, you will give rise to a crystal lattice. So crystal lattice is nothing but a three-dimensional arrangement, okay. When you stack these things one upon the other, you end up getting a three-dimensional arrangement. So that is called as crystal lattice, okay. Now, the same thing what I've told. Oh, now there are certain characteristics this for this crystal lattice. That is one which I've already told you, that each and every point over here, okay, each and every point of this crystal lattice is represented by the constituent particle. So those constituent particles are all of these, either atoms, or they can be molecules, or they could be ions, okay. And each point over here is called as lattice point. These points are called as lattice point, okay. And you can see here one atom is joined by the line, okay. You can see a line over here. Actually, there are no lines present between the two atoms. Like if I take now sodium ion and sodium ion I'm having, there is no line like this between the atoms, okay. That we are doing it just so that we will be able to get a geometry out of these crystal, okay. So just to get the geometry, we try to make a imaginary lines one after the other. Yeah, they are just a forces which is existing, okay, the force which is holding them, but there is no, virtually there is no real lines present, exactly, okay. That we are putting it so that we will be able to get a geometry out of these crystal, okay. So this lattice points are joined by the line just to get the geometry, okay. So these are the characteristics of these particular crystal lattice, okay. So characteristic one, I've told you, each point over here represents the constituent particle. These are the constituent particle, and every point occupied by the crystal lattice is called as lattice point. And the last one I said, this lattice point are joined together by the line just to get the geometry of this lattice, okay. Because each and every crystals arrangement will be different. So when you join these line together, you will be able to see what type of different geometries are there for these particular crystals, okay. So write down these. Next is characteristics of crystal lattice. Okay, now practically what they have found is, okay, now you know what is a crystal lattice is. Now, when a person studied, the scientists, when they have studied about these crystal lattice, practically they have found that there are around 14 such crystal lattice. Okay, only 14 they are able to find out in this whole structures. There are so many compounds we are having existing in nature, so they have found that there are only 14 possible three-dimensional lattice, which was discovered by August Brevius. So it is called as Brevius lattice, okay. Whatever structures we are able to get, the three-dimensional structure which we have got, okay. So only 14 they have got so far, okay. They have got only 14 of these kind of three-dimensional arrangements. So it was discovered by scientists called as Brevius. So it was named as Brevius lattice. So in detail about these 14 possible three-dimensional lattice, that we will be studying later, okay. So now I've just told you that there are 14 three-dimensional lattice. You will get to know what are those 14 different three-dimensional structures which are possible, okay. So that we will do it later. Now I will continue, okay. Now the next thing is, you know what is a crystal lattice is now, okay. I have told you this three-dimensional arrangement of points in this space, okay. So that is called as crystal lattice. Now if you see here, you can see the green color portion on this side. Okay, so that green color portion is that smallest portion. Okay, you can see that smallest portion is the thing which is getting repeated continuously, which is giving you this three-dimensional structure. Okay, so that small portion which is getting repeated over here, that is called as unit cell. Okay, that small portion is there, no, which makes the crystal lattice. It's like if you have a huge building, that huge building is made up of small room. That small room is the unit cell. Okay, are you able to get this point? Okay, like now, for example, if you talk about human body, what are the human body made up of? It is made up of that small tiny cell, and you know, when many cell combine together, they give rise to tissues. And then when many tissues combine, they give rise to organs. Okay, all that, and then so on. Then finally, organism is being formed. Okay, so like that only. If you're talking about the crystal lattice, that crystal lattice is made up of that small portion. Okay, which is getting continuously repeated. So that small portion is called as unit cell. Okay, this small portion which is there. Okay, if you want, I'll go back. This is the huge thing. Okay, the huge crystal, the big crystal. That big crystal is made up of this small repeating portion. Okay, that small repeating portion is called as unit cell. Okay. So it is the smallest portion of the crystal lattice, which when repeated in different direction will generate that entire lattice. See here, this is one way of representing, because virtually when you see, you have atoms. Okay, so atoms are arranged one after the other. So if you take that small pattern which is getting repeated, that small pattern is the unit cell. Okay, these are different ways of representing the unit cell. Three pictures I have put. No, it's one and the same thing. Okay, but then different ways how you can see the unit cell. See, now here I have put the picture. You can see beginning there was only one thing. Now that one arrangement is getting continuously repeated, giving you this bigger structure, which is the crystal lattice. Okay, I believe it is understood. Just let me know whether you are able to follow what is a unit cell is. Unit cell is the smallest portion. Okay, that small portion, when you keep stacking one after the other, you will end up getting the whole crystal lattice. Okay, and each and every point over here represents the constituent particles. Yes, write it down now. Yeah, let's move on now. Next we are having is parameters of this unit cell. Okay, means if you have that small portion, okay, of the crystal lattice, that is the unit cell. So unit cell has certain parameters, means the shape and the size of the unit cell. Okay, so that shape and size of the unit cell will be decided by these parameters. Okay, because not all the unit cell will have same kind of arrangement. No, each and every unit cell will be of different shape and size. Okay, so that shape and size is depending on these parameters. So generally, so if I have this as a unit cell, let's see what are those parameters. There are altogether, you can see, one is, okay, the first parameter which I'm going to talk is, that is about the dimension. Okay, the length. So there are three edges. Okay, for the unit cell, these can be different or it can be same also sometimes. Like for example, if I'm talking about a cubic unit cell, cube means what? Where all the sides are equal. But if you're talking about some other unit cell, then they may not be having the same sides. Okay, so these parameters are the dimension. Okay, first parameter which I have discussed, that is a dimension. Okay, so we have three edges, A, B, and then C. Okay, so these edges may or may not be equal to each other, or may not be perpendicular also to each other. Okay, so you can't say every time this length will be equal or they are going to be perpendicular. Okay, they can be different from one another. So that's the first thing. Second one is the angle. Okay, angle between this. One is alpha, that is between B and C is called as alpha, and between A and C, that is called as beta, and the last one, that is between A and B, that is called as gamma. Okay, so these are the two parameters. One is dimension and the other one angle. That decides the unit cell. Okay, so depending on these, you will get different kinds of unit cell. So there are altogether six. One I said three edges are there. One is edge, where I said there are three. One is A, B, and then C. Okay, because it's three dimensional, so you will have three different directions. So A, B, and then C. And then since there are 3 sides, you will have 3 angles also. So those 3 angles are alpha, beta, and then gamma. Okay, so you can write this down. Parameters of the unit cell. The unit cell has 6 parameters, 3 edges and 3 angles. Okay. Diagram, you can draw this diagram also. Roughly you draw, okay, just for you to know. They won't ask you in the exam. I'll repeat this once again. See, parameter of the unit cell means the one which will decide the size and the shape of the unit cell. So there are altogether 6 parameter. One is the length, okay. It's also called as dimension, okay. One is the length part where you're finding 3, okay. 3 different lengths are there. One is A, B, and the other one is C. And the other parameter, the main important parameter, that is the angle. Okay, so angle between these edges. So there are 3 angles, that is alpha, beta, and gamma, because between A and B, there can be one angle. Between B and C, there can be one angle. And between C and A, there will be one angle. Different angles are possible between this crystal lattice. Okay. So altogether, there are total 6 parameter, depending on which you will get different kind of unit cell. Okay. So not all the unit cell are of same category. They will be different based on these parameters. Okay. Now I'll move on. Based on these parameters, we will be studying that later. Okay, again, further classifications are there. Different kind of crystal systems, you will be studying that later. Now I will move on for the type of unit cells. Okay, so this type of unit cell basically categorized into 2. Okay, so one is primitive unit cell and the other one we are having is centered unit cell. This is based on the atoms, okay, like the way atoms are arranged, depending on that we are having this unit cell. So one is primitive unit cell and the other one is centered unit cell. And the centered unit cell is further divided into 3 categories. Okay, so that is body centered unit cell, then we are having face centered unit cell, and the final one is end centered unit cell. Okay, these are the 3 different arrangement possible in centered unit cell. Okay, so here is the flow chart for unit cell. I will explain each and everything later, you can write it down. Okay, so let me start with the first one, primitive unit cell. Okay, now see, primitive unit cell is the one where you find the atoms which are there. No, these atoms are present at 8 corners. Okay, you can see here, these constituent particles are present here. In this unit cell, at 8 corners you find the atoms present. Then such type of unit cell will be called as primitive unit cell. Okay, this is primitive. If I take now, see here, one atom this side, then one atom over here. Okay, one atom I will place it behind. Okay, this becomes 2-dimensional. No, on the plane I am taking. Okay, if you have a spheres and if you arrange sphere one after the other 4, then on the top of this you are arranging. Okay, this is on top of the first layer, then again another one, then here and then here. Okay, so this gives you one small unit cell. So if you find it like this, only at 8 corners these atoms are present, then that is primitive unit cell. Okay, unit cell in which constituent particles are present only at the corners. Okay, 8 corners you are able to find them. So that's primitive. Then next, they are also called as simple cubic unit cell. One more name is given for them, simple cubic unit cell. Okay, next I'll go for centered unit cell. Centered unit cell is where constituent particles are present at the corner, plus there are certain atoms which are present other than the corner. Okay, means you are having unit cell which contains one or more particles in addition to the corner. Okay, corner there are atoms present, but including that corner there are atoms which are present in other places also. So then they are called as centered unit cell. So for this we have again 3 categories because they can be present in different places. Okay, in that first one is body centered unit cell. Okay, in body centered unit cell, you are having the corner particles. You can see here 8 corner atoms are there, including these 8 corner particles. There is atom which is present at the center. Okay, you can imagine this like if you have your room, okay, that will be the unit cell. So imagine that each and every corner is there, no? Each and every corner is the vertex where imagine there are atoms present. Along with that, if you place one atom in the center of your room, so that will be called as body-centered unit cell. Okay, one whole atom is present in the center, but then at the corner also there are atoms which are present. Okay, so that comes under body-centered. It contains 8 corner particles. Okay, 8 corner particles are there, but along with that, one particle is present at the body-centered. Okay. So this is how the arrangement will be. Can you see here? Okay, this is the space filling model. If I have these atoms present like this, you can see here, these purple ones are there, no? They are the corner particles, okay? And the one which is present in the green, okay, that's the center one, okay? So like this kind of arrangement is possible in the crystal. That's body centered, okay? The next one we are having face centered unit cell. Face centered is again 8 atoms are there in the corner. Okay, we said 8 corners will be there at the corner. Including that, in other places you will be able to find the atoms. So in face centered, what happens is you are finding 8 particles at the corner. Along with that, okay, here you can see faces means the side are there, no, sides of the cube. Okay, like this is one side, this is the second one, okay, this is second, and then the front one, okay, that is third, and then behind this there is one more, okay, so that is fifth. See, you have 1 2 3 4 side, okay, and then one front and one behind. So total there are 8. So total there are six spaces. I'm sorry. Okay, 6 spaces are there. So you are finding atoms which are present at the corner. Along with that, you find atoms which are present on these 6 spaces. You can see here one up, one side, okay, down, then towards the left side. Okay. So 4 are over, and then one is present in the front and one is present at the behind. Okay. So this is face-centered unit cell. Like this kind of arrangement is possible, where it contains 8 corner particles and one particle at the center of each faces. Okay. Altogether, we have 6 atoms present on the 6 faces. So this is the second classification for centered. And then the last one we are having end-centered. End-centered is you are having 8 corner particle and 2 particles are present at the opposite side. Okay, end-centered means opposite ends they will be present. One at the top and one will be at the bottom. Okay, so they contain 8 corner particles and 1 particle at the center of 2 opposite faces. So these are the altogether 3 classes.